host of the Gridiron.
All right, finally we got a little what to watch for the Giants and the Steelers. Just just a little preview for the Monday night debacle. I'm not hoping for the best, but oh my God, the only thing is that what you can expect from the Giants is just you have no idea. That's all. I mean, 1 week you go out to Seattle where it's very tough to play this, that, and the other thing. And, you beat a good Seattle team and then you come home and in 2 weeks against teams that aren't, they don't have the greatest defenses in the world. You score grand total 10, but you have no idea what you're going to get from the Giants. Absolutely no idea whatsoever what you're going to get from the Giants. No idea. They go out to Seattle and it's like they play a really good game. You're like, maybe we're turning the corner. Maybe we might start winning some games. And it's like, nope. Nothing can be further from the truth. I mean, the Eagles went in, they scored 37 points. The Eagles still have not scored a point in the first quarter all season long. I think it was 7-0 after the first quarter was over. And the Eagles scored 37 points in the last 3 quarters. 3 quarters, Eagles scored 37 points in Cincy. We had Cincinnati, that defense. It's between Cincinnati, between the Eagles and the Ravens, good offensive teams, I get it. The Ravens and the Eagles in Cincinnati put up like 40 points put up about 80 points, almost 80 points between the two teams in Cincinnati. Cincinnati comes to Giant Stadium. We scored a touchdown. We scored 7 points. What? We just put up, the 29 against Seattle. But, you realize, we were up 23-13, right? At one point. And Seattle scored with about a few minutes, 5 minutes to go, scored a touchdown, but it was 23-13. And but you realize if Eric Ray didn't fumble that ball, or if he got another 6 inches or so, 2 inches, I even saw an angle. It looked like he might even have gotten over, but it wasn't maybe a direct angle or whatever. But if he could have gotten or just got tackled just without fumbling or whatever, and maybe punching on the next play, whatever, you realize we could have been up 30-6 at one point in that game, 30-6. And then the next week we come home against the Cincinnati Bengals, who just gave up 41 points, I think, the week before against the Ravens, and we score 1 touchdown. It's like, then the Eagles come in, we score 3 points. We can't even score a touchdown in our own house against the Eagles. So, what to expect against the Giants? You got me. We could go in there and make it a nice game and possibly come out with a win and look good, or might get blown out. It's all on the table. All on the table. So you have this thing here. 10 things to watch for Monday Night Football. Getting back on track. The Giants traveled across the country to Seattle and defeated the Seahawks. The team's most complete performance of the season. However, the Giants were unable to carry that momentum over their next 2 games. In weeks 6 and 7, the offense scored a grand total of 10 points. What a joke. While the offensive struggle can be credited for several areas, 2 in particular have stood out: the unit's lack of explosive plays and their struggles on third down. In week 6, the Giants' longest play of the game was 15 yards. The following week, the longest play went for 14 yards. What a joke. It's difficult to win games without the threat of a big play, and it's even harder when struggling to sustain drives. Oh, yeah. Now you got the all-time series here. Giants are 2-5, visit the Steelers, who are 5-2, for the 3rd primetime matchup of the season. Monday's game marks the 79th regular season meeting between the two teams and their 3rd contest against each other on Monday Night Football. 1991-2020 in their most recent matchup, the Steelers won 26-16. That was the one game where the Giants had the ball 2-yard line, 3-yard line, whatever it was. And I can't remember the edge rusher, but Daniel Jones rolls out to his left, and he's like looking, and there's a Steeler running at him, just running at him. Daniel Jones is looking in the end zone, and the Steelers running there. It was the same thing. It was with the Bengal play when Hill was running at him, right? And Daniel Jones doesn't. Hey, throw the ball. Nah, I'm going to hold on to it for another second or two. That way I'll give the defender time to come and hit my hand, the ball fly up in the air, and we'll get intercepted, and we won't get any points. Can't remember the defender's name. I can't remember. But Daniel Jones is looking, and his Steeler defender running at him. Just running at him. Running. Daniel Jones is there looking, pumping, looking, and the Steeler guys are still running at him. Daniel Jones is looking. Oh, but I mean, you can see the guy, right? Kind of got a corner of his eye, Nope, he's not close enough to me. I'm going to hold the ball. So just at the time he goes to throw the ball, pops up in the air. And Cameron Haywood, somehow the nose tackle, whatever, the defensive tackle is all the way on the one side in the end zone, catches the interception. We wind up losing at least 3 points in that. It's unbelievable. Another boneheaded play by Daniel Jones. Let's see. Pittsburgh has won the last 3 games. The Giants' most recent victory in Pittsburgh came in 2008. Remember that game, 21-14? That was a good game, real good game. They talk about Dexter's dominant start. He got his career high with 9 sacks. What makes Lawrence's performance in the pass rush even more impressive is how he comes about the sacks. 6'4", 340-pound lineman has faced a double team on 63.3% of his pass rushes this season. It's the highest in the NFL. And it's also the highest double team rate any defender has faced dating back to at least 2018. And he's leading the league in sacks. Crazy. And of course, obviously we got Burnsy, Ojulari. Those trio have combined for 13 pressures according to Pro Football Focus, while totaling 5 quarterback hits. Hurts had just 14 pass attempts and 21 dropbacks on the day, and yet PFF had the Giants down for 21 total pressures. We're getting pressures, and we're getting pressure. That's with Ojulari in there, not Kayvon, right? Giants 31 sacks on the season are 3 more than the next highest team. And actually, I think we had 34 sacks all last season. So if we to get 3 sacks against the Steelers, which is possible, that's certainly a possibility, we'll have as many sacks in 8 games as we did all last season. The problem is we're getting the sacks. We're not getting the turnovers. Turnovers would be fantastic. Right? One thing is we weren't getting maybe a lot of sacks with Wink, but we were getting some turnovers. Said we're not getting turnovers now. That's not good. And the thing is that so look at it too is like you kind of figure like with the Bowen, right? A lot of times you get the pressure with the front wall, but you might have more of a zone kind of coverage. You're dropping in a zone. You got the you kind of got you got your whatever that lizard is, eye one way, so you kind of, you got to, who's coming into your zone, but you can also keep an eye on the quarterback. So you kind of know when he's throwing the ball. So that's supposed to be helpful in the interception department. But we have 1 interception, I think, on the season. Not good. And it's from USAL, right? I mean, none of our starters has an interception on the season. And we're almost halfway through the season. I mean, the sacks are nice, but you got to get those turnovers. Sustaining drives. As Brian Daboll mentioned in the quote at the top of the article, the Giants offense struggled in 2 areas in particular against the Eagles. The lack of explosive plays. Let's see. And the Giants were able to convert just 3 of 14 third down attempts in the last week's loss. 3 of 14, including obviously 5 sacks on third down alone. Well, the thing was that they were probably third down and 37 to go, or whatever, and the Eagles just teed off on them. Right? Avoiding third and long or even third and medium would go a long way in helping the Giants improve these key situations. Yeah, you just don't want it's 3rd and 12 and the Steelers can just tee off, right? And just rush the quarterback, right? That would be horrible. He says it's hard to sustain drives if you're not creating big plays and you're not converting on third downs. Absolutely. Over the last 2 games, the Giants running backs have gained 106 yards on 32 carries. It's like 3 yards a carry, 3.3 yards a carry. It's not a coincidence that during that same stretch, the offense is converted on just 8 of 29 third down attempts. Gaining more yards on the ground on early downs would help put the offense in better third down situations, which in turn would likely help the team convert on more of these attempts. Accomplishing this could be a tough task, though, this week, as the Steelers come into this game ranking 2nd in rushing yards allowed per attempt. Only go 3.6 yards an attempt. And they're 3rd in rushing allowed yard per game at 81. So, stopping the run. Yes, absolutely. Let's say, equally as important as establishing the run game on offense will be stopping the run on the defensive side of the ball. Despite handing the reins of the offense to Russell Wilson after Justin Fields led the team to a 4-2 start, the Steelers make it no secret that they want to run the football. Pittsburgh comes into this game with 235 rush attempts on the year, the 2nd most in the NFL. Even with Wilson starting quarterback and throwing for 264 yards last week, the Steelers still ran the ball 36 times, 149 yards. That is awesome. Awesome. Over the last few seasons, the Giants have struggled limiting opposing teams' run games. However, over the first 6 weeks of the season, the unit has done as much better job against the run. But they got the Commanders at 215 yards. Last week, the Eagles had 269 yards. I mean, we got to do a better job stopping the run. That's why I keep pounding that. Hopefully next season in the draft, we can get ourselves, or in free agency, get somebody else we can put next to Sexy, right? Who's a stud, right? Who can really clog it up of the run game, right? You want like 2 immovable objects in there, Sexy and somebody else. Then you got, they contain the edge, but then you got your linebackers, with Micah and Bobby, right? They can, maybe fill in the holes and make some tackles. So, I mean, stopping they want to run the ball, and the one thing is that, hey, maybe their offensive line may not be quite as good as what the Eagles is, but I mean, they can just look at the film. Obviously, Najee Harris is not Saquon. Okay. But, they can certainly take some, look at the film and say, oh, what did the Eagles do? Oh, yeah, they did this. Okay, right? So, I said that the Steelers like to run the ball. They're decent at running the ball. They don't have somebody who's, I'm saying is that, said Harris is a good running back, but he's not Barry Sanders either. But they're going to run the ball. The Giants going to really have to contain, the Steelers running attack. Especially if they got they don't have this, there's full starters in there on the offensive line. And we gotta, I mean, can't get torched like that. Phillips and Newman stepping up. With only 7 games in the season, but the Giants taking Drew Phillips in the 3rd round of this year's draft already appears to be a steal. Oh, yeah. Giants went into that draft, and they took Phillips. They had 2 guns. We're taking him in the 3rd round. Anybody got any problems with that? Is Phillips, he looks like, I'll tell you what, 3rd round pick? Oh, yeah. Fantastic. And I think as time goes by, I think Newman's going to be a decent player, very decent player too. I think those two guys are going to be two really good picks for the Giants. Slot cornerback is coming off yet another strong outing in last week's loss to the Eagles. Phillips registered 2 tackles for loss while allowing just 1 reception for negative 2 yards in coverage. Wow. Despite being matched up against either Devontae Smith or A.J. Brown for most of the game. Wow. Phillips has had success in coverage throughout the entire season. The 22-year-old left the Week 3 win over the Browns early and missed the following week against the Cowboys. In his 5+ games, the slot corner has surrendered 11 receptions for 46 yards. Wow. 4 yards a reception. Freaking believable. But Phillips isn't the only rookie defensive back to get his NFL career off to a strong start. 7 games into the season, Tyler Newman leads the Giants with 48 total tackles. So our safety, is on pace for well over 100 tackles on the season if he can stay healthy. Right? So he's on pace. So maybe after this game's over, he might have 55 tackles. And we're still not even halfway through the season. But if he just double his numbers, right, after this game, he might be on pace for 110 tackles. His rookie season. Between Malik, Newman, and Phillips, I think we hit it out of the park with those 3 guys. I mean, Theo looks like, he could be, hopefully a decent tight end. I don't know how special he's going to be, but hopefully decent. And Trey, I like Tracy. I think the Giants, with only 6 picks, I think they did a very, very good job. Now, if they can duplicate that again next year, that would be awesome. If we get 3 more studs in the draft early on, man, that would be fantastic. Fantastic. Let's see. Newman has been on the field for 254 coverage snaps so far this season, and according to PFF, the 23-year-old has surrendered just 10 receptions for 88 yards across 7 games. I mean, he's given up 12 yards of receptions per game. Says here, Neighbors discusses the Steelers' defense. Malik returned to the field last Sunday. The rookie wide receiver finished with just 4 receptions. However, Neighbors was on the field for 93% of the team's offensive snaps, an encouraging sign. Overall, his 2.25 yards per route run this year ranks 13th among qualifying wide receivers. We just got to stay on track and communicate, Neighbors said Friday about the offense. Like I said, stay off out of third downs, create some explosive plays, and help our defense hold them down. Our defense has been doing a great job. So when we get back on the field, we've got to give our defense a break. I mean, the defense last week, early on, I don't want to say the game was there for the taking, but early on, I mean, the Eagles didn't score nothing in the first quarter. Right? But then again, neither did the Giants. Slowing down T.J. Watt. Now, as I said, I don't know what they're going to plan on doing. If you got, hopefully Luminor plays, hopefully over there with Watt, right? Hopefully he can, take care of business. Hopefully. As I said, Watts has 4.5 sacks, so he's not even averaging a sack a game. On the other side over there, we'll have to see. If Zudu starts, we'll have to see how he does. We're going to need to give him some help over there. Yeah, you only want to keep so many guys in. You don't want to have 7 guys in protection. Just have 3 guys out there running routes, because Daboll says that usually they try to have 7. The Steelers try to have 7 guys in coverage. So if you got 3 guys out there running routes against 7 guys, it's pretty tough to get open, right? So you want to have at least 4 guys out there, so you can't double team everybody, right? So, keeping Haywood, who gets pressure, right? The one thing is sometimes with Schmitz, he gets overpowered sometimes by bigger, stronger interior defensive linemen. So he might, have his hands full this week. Hopefully, maybe if he's in there, hopefully he'll be double teaming Haywood with Runyon. right? Or Van Roten or whatever. So hopefully, they can double team him. But, the more time, obviously, we can give Daniel Jones, the better. Because nothing, as we've seen before, you start rattling the guy, game, set, match. It's over, right? Got to give the guy some protection. Got to give him some confidence. Yeah, but it's tough. It's a good defense. All right, what else we got here? So slowing down Watt and their pass rush is, it's going to be paramount, shall we say, right? Stats to know ahead of Monday Night Football. Malik needs one catch in Week 8 to become the third player in the Super Bowl era with 40-plus receptions in his first 6 career games. Now, listen to this. Check this out, right? He needs just one catch. If we can't get Malik Neighbors one catch, we just fold up the organization and just sell it to somebody. Sell it for a pack of chewing gum. Just don't even bother playing football anymore as the New York Giants if we can't get Malik Neighbors one catch. So if he gets one, and he missed time, right? But he'll be the first with 40-plus receptions in his first 6 career games. He would join Puka Nacua, who had 50 receptions, and Saquon Barkley, who had 40 receptions in 2018. So if he gets one reception, there'll be 2 Giants out of 3 players in the Super Bowl era with 40-plus receptions in their first 6 career games. 2 Giants, right? And as sadly, both of them could still be on the team, but it is what it is, right? Pittsburgh's .679 winning percentage on Monday Night Football is the highest in the NFL with a minimum of 50 games. So they have the highest, and the Giants may not be the worst, but the Giants are absolutely horrible, as we know. Daniel Jones, 1 out of 14 in prime time? So Wan'Dale Robinson is one of 5 players with 5 or more catches in 6 or more games this season. Robinson has 5 or more catches in 8 of his past 9 games and aims for his 6th game in a row with at least 5 receptions. Brian Burns has a sack in 4 of his past 5 games, while Azeez Ojulari has at least 1 sack in back-to-back games and a total of 3 over the last 2 weeks. Tyler Nubin leads all rookies in total tackles. So, talk about, once again, talk about what Nubin's done. Right, he leads all rookies with tackles. Right, that's a nice. All right, not bad for a rookie, for a second rounder. Right, now it stinks because you see Xavier McKinney over there was at the first 5 games of the season. He had 5 interceptions, yada yada yada. So it's kind of like, but I think we replaced them with maybe not somebody quite as good as him maybe right now, but. We got ourselves a good pick. We got ourselves a good safety in the second round. Then you look at Phillips in the 3rd round. To get a cornerback like that in the 3rd round, wow. And then of course you got Malik Neighbors. If we can ever get a quarterback who could just start getting the ball to him, right? Wow. Could you imagine Eli Manning in his prime with Malik Neighbors there? Holy cow, Batman! Wow. So the Giants draft class was really, really good. Now we need to duplicate that again. But anyway, as I said, what's going to happen here? Who knows? The only one thing you know about the Giants so far this season is you have no idea what's going to happen. We haven't done, maybe so bad, right? On the road, right? It's at home where we're absolutely unbelievably horrible, right? So maybe, just maybe, since we're on the road, who knows? Maybe we'll play good, but anything can happen here. If things start going south, the Steelers got a very good defense. The Giants have a hard time moving the ball, a hard time scoring, all of that and everything. It could be a long, long night. And once again, it's prime time. The Giants play horrible prime time. Daniel Jones plays horrible prime time, yada, yada, yada. So you can expect anything. Obviously, I'll be watching. I'm hoping for the best, but once again, it's the New York Football Giants in its prime time, and anything's possible. All right, guys, been 1 hour and 34 minutes. I think that might be a record for me. Whoever spent any time listening to me live, thank you, thank you, thank you. Or if anybody's going to spend any time watching the replay this, once again, thank you so much for the bottom of my heart. It means the world to me. As always, you guys stay safe out there and go Giants. Woo! Oh, yeah.